Our scriptural text is from Romans 5 verse 8. It says, "But God commandeth His love toward us, in that, while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us." An early winter storm was sweeping through the Swiss Alps. It was unexpected, but the monks who lived in the area had learned never to be surprised by such weather tricks. All the dogs dozed peacefully on the floor, all, that is, except Balto. He was the largest and most noble of the 3 Saint Bernards. Now he fretted at the door, pawing a little. He quieted down shortly, only to begin to paw nervously again. Finally, Brother Philip unbarred the great door, and Balto's bulky form disappeared into the darkness. "It may be," the monk said, returning to his chair, "that a traveler has been caught out on the mountain. If so, Balto will find him." There was a traveler caught in the storm. Young Franco Martin had been making his way to his home when the blinding blizzard swept down on him. He had struggled on for a few miles, but now he was sinking into the freezing stupor. Now, the bulky shape of the big dog approached. Franco aroused. An enemy was trying to keep him from his rest. With his final strength, he drew his knife and plunged it into the big body hovering over him. There was a sharp yelp of pain, and Balto stumbled away back up the mountain. The monks had been watching, and were already prepared to follow him. No one noticed the dog's wound as he once more made his slow way down the mountain, with the monks following closely. In the darkness, they did not notice his blood dripping onto the snow. They found Franco and wrapped him warmly in the heavy blankets. As they began the ascent to the warm refuge of the monastery, Brother Philip turned to praise Balto. But it was too late. The great form lay still. The monks crowded about, touching him gently and murmuring to one another in low grief-stricken tones. One of them noticed the blood-stained knife nearly covered by the drifting snow. It told the story plainly. Then they sadly made their silent way home, carrying the still unconscious figure of Franco Martin. They knew the sacrifice was not in vain, and they were reminded very vividly of other blood that had been spilled on a tree outside Jerusalem. Except that sacrifice had been for everyone. This story tells us of what Balto did just to save the struggling man. Even if he was wounded, he did not give up in helping the man to be saved from death. This is similar to what our God made just to save you and me. We are in a state of sinfulness, but God is very loving and wanted to save us from sin. And so, He gave us Jesus Christ as a sacrifice on the cross, wounded for our transgressions, that we might be saved and be able to live in grace. May we learn to value this great sacrifice. Thank you for listening, and be sure to join us again next week for our weekly devotional reading.